Hello, welcome to my Milestone 1 video for the project. In the beginning of the project, I started off by making a narrative document that everyone could look at. I split up each scene into four, I split up the whole project into four different scenes and gave each person a scene that they wanted slash I knew that they would do good at. And after that, I made a basic overview of what the scene should look like and how it should flow, and then basic emotions that we want to get across in the scene and a narrative that would help us create the storyboards and whatnot. And after that, we all kind of moved into storyboarding. And then looking at my storyboards, I kind of cut them into two different halves. The first half was kind of setting up the world and atmosphere that the character transported in, especially since my scene is the second one, so it's the first time the character transports somewhere. So I really wanted it to be like, what's going on here kind of deal. Um, so I set up all the kind of shots to get that atmosphere going, and then moving into my second part of the animation, it gets into more of the action and how the character fits into the scene and how the character interacts with the new people here. And then it also moves into how it will transition into the next scene after he teleports once again. And then after the storyboards were done, I focused on getting a lot of the assets that we needed. And for the assets, I focused on just kind of looking in Mixamo for characters we could use, since we also wanted to use animations from Mixamo. So we start off by getting this Joe character here on the left, and it worked for us since he starts out as a kind of desk jockey kind of person, office worker, um, kind of a salaryman. So we chose to use him, and we did change kind of halfway through to him, but this we've had him for a while. And I also focused on getting the visual effects that we need for the actual teleporting, which I'll show you in the project later. So the assets that I got are basically just the ones that will be staying consistent in each of the scenes here. And I also got a shader to also help with that consistency. So moving into the actual project, after I got all like the storyboards done and all that sort of stuff, I then moved into getting in setting up my scene. I started by getting a free map from Unreal Engine to start off with that had this landscape and trees, and then I deleted a bunch of stuff and got some tints and set up everything that I needed to kind of fit my storyboards as best as I could, while also kind of elevating them a little bit. And then after I got it all set up, I moved into Sequencer and started blocking out that first half of the storyboards. And I focused a lot on camera animation at first and just kind of blocking things in. And this would be like the first half here. And after that, I moved into the second half, which is most recently. And a lot of the back end stuff that I did during this process was, since especially I'm a team leader and I know the most about Unreal Engine on the team, I did take on the role of gathering a bunch of resources to help people learn and meeting with them to help them figure out certain issues and bugs and working alongside with them so I could help them learn more. This is my first time in Sequencer and Unreal Engine as well, but my transition into learning this was easier since I've already got my hands wet with working in Unreal Engine for several years prior to this. So that's kind of what I did. Uh, just storyboards, narrative documents, and then just making my scene all by myself and editing each Mixamo animation, which that's what this rig is. I may have brought in Mixamo animations, but I edited them as much as I needed to get the animation that I wanted to, such as this here is just a walking cycle that I modified the animation to be able to raise his hand. Same with this, I blended animations together, such as this one, and then moved his head to where I needed him to look. And same with a lot of these things here, especially with the stand up one, that's a blend of a sit to stand up that I got three different animations together that sit, stand up, and then the look around. And I blended all that together as best as I could and matching different bones from the previous clip to the next clip so it all kind of works together. So that's kind of the process that I took it for my part, which looking back I probably should have, especially since I worked with a voice actor. Uh, so I feel like that animatic, if I would have had that done whenever I was talking to the voice actor, it could have been a little bit easier for him. But the voice acting turned out great anyway, so it worked out. But just looking back, I feel like that's another thing that I could have done is make that animatic. So if we look at the final product that I have here, which it's all pretty much done, it just needs to be rendered out, and then the animation and sounds need to be put on. Which since this is tape, it's all kind of being spoken from like the past kind of point of view. There's not going to be a whole lot of Foley sounds since it's kind of like a retelling from the narrator. But there will be some sounds for the big impact stuff, and then obviously the narrator. So if we start here, and I will show you what I have for kind of a final block out here. So that's kind of what I have going on right now. There should there is a few things that I could clean up a little bit here, but for the most part, it all seems pretty much done. So if there's anything you guys think I should do to make this better, let me know. So that's kind of been my part and role in the things I've done for this project so far, and I'll talk to you guys later.